Ready?
Ready?
Hello,
Hello,
I'm Dinah,
I'm Francisco.
and you're watching Double Espresso.
Dinah, how are you?
I'm good. How are
Really
you?
nice. Good. What is the question for today?
Yes, so today is going to be a very interesting topic, how to manage effectively the finances as a couple. I believe that the couple that manages their finances grows together.
Okay. What do you think is one of the key to manage together successfully their finance?
First thing is that the couple needs to be open with their financial obligations and their financial status. Second is they have to communicate their target, their money goals. That's the first two
Well,
steps.
have clear objectives.
Yes,
together.
yeah, having a clear objectives. And then now you can move on. What are the solutions? What are the options available in order for the couple to achieve their money goals? This comes as well the topic on how are they gonna split the finances, or are they gonna have a joint account or a separate bank account? So these are very important topic, and I know that it may not be a comfortable conversation, but it is needed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you have made it a very good point, very clear point, which is you need to have a clear objectives or a clear setup that you want to achieve, and then probably after that, together you take a decision. What could it be the strategy? So obviously, I mean, you try to have your finance accordingly to the kind of life that they have, and they have to set up what is the expenses and the way they have to make the payments. But they will come back to the point that they may want to have savings, or they want to buy a house, a property if they are renting, and definitely they have to have clarity on what is their objective and what is the strategy to achieve those objectives. So what do you think is a good strategy for achieving, for example, let's say you have been working stable for the last 3 years, you're saving some money, and now you want to buy a house, and then you find that to buy a house still need some more money for down payments, and probably in the later stage you need to get also a loan. So what could it be your strategy in this case?
Okay, so in that case, first is we have to understand what is the financial situation of the couple. Are both of them working, or one is working and then the other one is taking care of the family? Okay, so for example,
let's make it a house. We want to purchase a house of 100,000 euros or 100,000 US dollar. Down payment is 20,000, 20%, and then 80% you're gonna pay in a mortgage. Now the couple has 10,000 US dollars saved through the past time, and then they still remaining 10,000 US dollars for the down payment. Both of them, they are working. I don't know how much could it be their salary.
Yeah, okay. So again, I mean, I don't really want to go into the numerical details, but I just want to give like a concept. So if both of them are working, that is, I would say, an ideal scenario, because that means that the income of the family as a whole is actually higher, you know. So
your first
if that
point
is the
is,
case,
if one person is only, I mean, one of them are working, probably they should consider that the second also is also working, so that they can both contribute.
it can be.
That will help to shorten the time for them to achieve the
Because
saving.
it's also possible that even though only one person is working, but that person is bringing a significant resources to the family. So that's also a different scenario.
Well,
but
that's a good point.
yeah, true. So okay, so let's say that that two of them are actually working. I would say that the ideal scenario, which I think works for us as well, because we are in the same situation wherein both of us are working and we have a joint account, and then on top of that we have separate bank accounts. I would say that it's ideal because that joint bank account will be used for your retirement, investment, that for the common goal of the family. So for instance, you would like to purchase a property, you can use the funds in the joint bank account to be able to achieve these targets or family goals. Yeah. And then on top of that, why I'm saying that it's also important to have a separate bank account, because when you have a separate bank account, you have financial independence. Like in my case, every now and then I love to reward myself. I don't want to ask my husband, like, I'd like to buy something. I don't want to use the funds that is in our joint account. I would like to use the hard-earned money that I have in my separate bank account. And if I make some surprises, like a birthday surprise.
For me, the strategy will be, if only one of the couple is working, probably they should consider both of them to be working, just to shorten the time that they need to achieve this down payment. And then if this is not the case for whatever reason, probably they have a big family, they have to take care of the kids, and they cannot afford to the two of them to be working, then they should also consider that the person who is working either can choose to move to a better job, which could be also a possibility of moving in a different region or a different country, or they also should consider to add some new skills that will add some benefits in terms of economic, and they could probably achieve this target of saving more. And then I think it's quite good if you are a couple who are working, both of you, your idea, your strategy, you have 3 accounts. Let's say everyone has an individual account, and then both of them, they have a joint account. It's a quite nice settlement, because it allows you, okay, you're gonna have a percentage of money that you're gonna put in this joint account. It can be equal, it can be a decision between the couple, something that makes them comfortable.
Yeah.
And then individually they have also money allocated for them, for not only for rewarding themselves, also for using in case they want to give a surprise, a gift to their partner. So it's a quite good idea to have certain amount separately in your own account, where you are the one who manage, who you are the person who take the decisions, and then together you have an objective where you made it in your joint account and try to achieve. I think this make a good balance between achieve some economical or finance objectives, and then have your own management of your finance, which makes you feel so good and be in control of your own money, that for sure you have been working hard for that.
Yeah, that's right. And another point here, if let's say only one person is working and the other one is taking care of the family and monitor their finances, is to have at least 2 bank accounts. One bank account which is for inflow of income, that could be the salary or any other income that they have or that person has, and then the other one is a bank account for outflow. So that means, so for instance, real scenario, husband is getting a salary, so his salary goes to bank account A, which is for cash inflow, for basically for income, and then the bank account A will have to make a transfer to bank account B. Bank account B is for cash outflows, and the only amount that will be transferred to bank account B are the amounts that is for expenses, for the payment of house, for the payment of electricity, and also for budgeting of food. In this way, they will be able to effectively monitor the inflow and the outflow of their finances.
Well, we have touched a few points here. One is how to generate some more income, the different strategies. Another has been to how to manage together the finance, what could be the strategies. But I realized one important point here, which is security, safe. Protect yourself. I think this is also quite important, because it's not only what you generate. Avoid mistakes like not entering in shady business or in try to do some kind of actions that you're trying to invest in things that are not clear. You may lose your money. I think the first point is do not make the mistakes that could bring you financially at risk. Protect yourself, and this maybe we can discuss, and also generate more cash. Now, how are we protecting ourselves against, for example, online purchase? Now,
What we're actually doing is that we make sure that the bank account that is more on the incomes or inflows, we make sure that it doesn't have any connected ATM cards or like debit card. We don't use that for any online purchases. That can be used only for over-the-counter or online transaction, meaning bank-to-bank transaction, but there is no card associated. Why? Because we want to minimize the cyber risk, cyber attack, and with the modern technology that we have right now, it happens like almost everywhere. And then another thing that I really like, it's a feature of HSBC, is that when we travel, I use, so I have this online application wherein I can actually manage my bank, I can manage my cards, debit and credit cards, and I can set up travel. So for instance, if we are not in the UAE, I'm gonna deactivate my credit card in the UAE because we're not gonna use that, right? So I'm gonna deactivate it to make sure that while I am traveling outside UAE, there is no transactions that can be done with a credit card in the UAE. And that's the same thing. I have another card. We have another card that we use whenever we travel. Let's say it's in euro. It is in euro. So we only activate that when we travel. So when we are in the UAE, we deactivate. We only activate when we travel to European countries.
so to make it clear, we have different bank accounts. Actually, I have, for example, 2 bank accounts. One bank account, it's not linked to any debit card or credit card. The only is linked to the other bank account, which is a current bank account. And in this saving account, I will call it, I transfer there all my money. And nowadays, because you can do it through your phone application, you can transfer and have immediately switch from one account to the other one, and there is no fees on that. So one account has, I receive my salary immediately, I transfer to this account, it's safe, nothing is linked to this, I never make an online purchase using this account, so this is protected. Now I have the current account where I set a small amounts, I use it definitely in different days. What happened there? Okay, so I have the other account where I have a small amount, and this is linked to a credit card or debit card, and I use this online, and I minimize the risk of this. And another thing is I try to change my credit card every year or every 2 years, because I notice every 2 years the websites that we're using to purchase online could be hacked. And actually, many times the information has been hacked, and they never inform their clients of this. They never say, hey, my website has been hacked, your information can be compromised. And normally it used to take 1 year or 2 years for them, for the hackers to get this information. So if you change your credit card in the period of between 1 year to 2 years, you are likely to be safe. I mean, it's cost for changing your credit card is not much, but you avoid all this.
There's no cost actually. There is no
in some
cost
cases, in some
associated.
banks, there is no cost associated. So it's quite good to have this practice of cleaning your credit cards, make new credit card, and avoid that it has been hacked in any third-party company for online purchase or whatever, and they're using your credit card.
Yeah.
So I used to take these things, and I really encourage everyone to look how they can financially structure their savings, that they are not never at risk when you do any online purchase.
Yeah, that's a good point, Fran. Yeah. What do you think of the setup? What is the ideal setup? Because the most asked question is, how are we gonna split the finances, or how are we gonna manage the funds? Is it better to have separate bank accounts, or is it better to have a joint bank account? What is your take on that?
Well, I mean, this is depend of every couple. I think for me, I feel comfortable to have my own account where probably I have there a certain amount of money, and the remaining, the big savings, I will send to the joint account. And I think we both of us actually we are transferring the same amount, so it's equally, and so we see the contribution both of us to achieve our objectives.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, good. I don't know if you have more questions.
I, th- I think that's all for now.
All right, that's good.
Yes.
I think this has been a very nice and constructive conversation. I hope you enjoy and have your double espresso.
Yes.